how do you guys decide on your finances? Who handles what in the relationship?
Right, I'm not eating a donut. By the way, thanks for buying this for me.
Did I buy that for you?
Well, I loaded my Dunks card with your credit card, so yeah. I just thought it'd be good for my finances.
Your Dunks credit card is you loaded my Dunks credit card onto your Dunks account.
Because with Amex, you get points back, so I'm giving you points back.
My Amex.
You get points back. You're welcome.
This is how we divvy up finances, gang, for better or for worse. So take this with a grain of salt. This is what works for us. And works in air quotes because we're still working on it. I've heard couples that do 50-50, which I think is interesting. Mm-hmm. We have a good friend of ours. They do 50-50. Mm-hmm. I think that's totally, I respect it. That works for them. For us, as you've seen on the show, it just doesn't work for us, you know? And I also think there's a good argument to that. I think we're a little more old school. I think the guy, this again, can't preface it enough. This is what works for us financially. I, as the guy, cover all bills, rent, utilities, electrical, water,
food,
date
nights,
gas, insurance, truck payment, all that stuff is for me. Meanwhile, Ashley is creating life. I think that gets overlooked.
Yeah.
You, as a guy, you want your wife to split bills with you. Meanwhile, she's splitting cells to create, new life in her own body.
Yeah. I'm going a whole extra organ. I'm going many organs for the baby, but my placenta, I can grow a whole extra organ.
Right. Like, I think it's a little unfair and a little unreasonable to be like, look, I know you're producing like hearts, lungs, legs, limbs, phalanges, brains, cells, penises, giners, right? And then I know once the baby does come out, you're going to use your own nipples to feed it, and your body's creating nutrients for the thing you just created. But we did go out to the 99s, and I'd love if we could split the bill 50-50. It sounds a little crazy, doesn't it? Doesn't that seem a little unreasonable at the end of the day? These useless nipples? Think about if the roles were reversed, and Ashley's like, look, I'm going to feed the baby during the day, but if you could use your nipples at night, that'd be great.
Yeah. Can you imagine how funny
Useless aviolas.
Aviola, okay.
Was that right, aviolas?
It was close.
Aviola?
Areola.
Oh.
AV is like aviation, planes.
Look at these flying nipples. Crazy. So yeah, that just works for us. I handle the finances. Ashley handles creating life. Mm-hmm. And she'll do, and you don't want me on the educational side with the kids.
You'll be sitting there reading the books with the kids.
Yeah. I told my wife, hey, when you teach Breezy, our little baby girl, how to read, do you mind if I sit in on that? Because I have the reading level of about a third grader, Did Hooked on Phonics, never got hooked. So when you go over that chapter, if I could just...
You really don't give yourself enough credit, though.
Peer in,
But no, I agree. And like we said, this is what works for us. At the end of the day, before you move in or decide to start a life with somebody, definitely just make sure that you have that conversation and that you're also comfortable with it. Not every relationship is going to look the way ours do. We're in a very fortunate situation as well. But I am always very confused because, like, someone asked us, like, how do you not become roommates with your, like, significant other? And I saw this girl on TikTok, no judgment, it's what works for them, and that's absolutely amazing. But she was saying that what they do is, like, one person will buy the dinner and then the other person will Venmo them. And I'm like, I don't even do that with my sisters. I'm not saying he has to always pay for the dinners too, like, that's your relationship. But to Venmo them after, I'm just confused. What if, like, you get it the next time? Like me and my sisters, when we go out to dinner, all three of us, like, okay, I get it this time. We're going to go out again next time. It might not be dollar to dollar equal, but again, we're not roommates.
Right.
But just have that conversation, whatever works for you. I think especially if one person makes more than the other person, it's not really fair that one person's going to sit there struggling to give you the half, where the other person, it's nice and easy. So just whatever works.
Prefer to do.
Well, that's the thing, too. Like, people found it really funny. I remember, like, episodes and episodes and episodes ago, I posted about how I personally don't love to work. You do. And they're like, no one likes to work. No. I had to not beg you. Our honeymoon was great, but like we go on vacation. Kevin brings his laptop. He loves to work. We got a couples massage. He not sent me. I absolutely love Jan. Me and his mother went for the couples massage because Kevin's like, I hate relaxing. Like, I can use that hour to work. Why would I go lay and have someone?
Can I have my laptop under the table?
Yeah.
That little donut.
So, like, that gives you, like, purpose and adrenaline. Like, for me, like, genuinely, I think it's the Italian in me, like, but I genuinely love making our house a home. Mm-hmm. I love making sure, like, the fridge is stocked and, like, it's clean and building a life and making the bed. You made the bed the other day, and I'm so grateful for that. But I was like, do you see how diagonal this is?
Cadet Kelly over here.
Yeah, like.
You know what I don't do in the household? I don't cook. I don't clean. But when you want it, I'll give you my ween. Gobble me, swallow me.
That was actually really good. You did make steak chips last night, though, and they were really, really great.
Right?
But I think you just got to find what works for you, find what gives you passion. For some people, both people love to work, and maybe that means, like, you hire a cleaner. Like, you just got to do what works for your relationship. This genuinely works for our relationship. No one feels belittled or taken advantage of. We've had this conversation. It's what works for us. We don't feel like roommates in that sense.
Mm-hmm. And I think the people outside listening in will be like, you know, we talk about this all the time. Like, Kevin's doing more in the relationship, but what do I say to you almost nightly?
Well, because I always think you're doing more, and you're like, you keep saying, you say, I could make us trillions a day, and I will never be able to do what you're doing creating that life.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't create life. I can't feed life with my own body. Like, when you think of how useless the male body is, it's insane.